Here we are. We are live. Look at that. Hey, how's it going? All right, give it a second here before we ramp up a little bit. Mm-mm. You have a good one. All right, do a quick mic check, see how this sounds. Looks like we're coming through good. Cool. All right, I'm going to jump into some lightsaber chit chat here. So thanks for joining us tonight. First ever live stream for Lightsaber Life. What's kind of crazy is in all my years of doing stuff like this, I've never done a solo live stream. I've been on plenty of live streams. I've hosted them. I've been on them with my partners over at the Geekiverse. But funny enough, I've never done one solo myself. I've even been on AM radio, been on WGR 550 with my buddy Derek Kramer, which was totally awesome to talk some Buffalo Sabres hockey, which was not so awesome. But I really enjoyed that. So here we are. Give this a go. And why we're doing this. I promised we would do this at 250 subscribers. Well, that happened a few weeks ago. We're over 350 now. So thank you very much for making that a reality for me. Greatly appreciate that. Lightsaber Life. I'm going to go into just a little bit of the background on the channel here. It is a passion project of mine. It's something I enjoy doing very, very much. My history with Star Wars is long running. I'm 34 years old now. And it all started when my dad took me to see the special editions in the theaters, which would have been 1997. So I was about 6 years old. But once I saw A New Hope special edition right there was no going back for me. As a kid, had some of the Hasbro lightsabers growing up. The Kenner, I believe, Kenner Luke Skywalker green lightsaber was one in a million. So that was awesome. And ever since then, it's kind of been an obsession for me. Fast forward, so I still run on and off again an entity called the Geekiverse. If you're familiar with me, you've probably heard of the Geekiverse, but that is pop culture aimed towards video games and Marvel and Star Wars, and it's really not terribly focused. So it's all over the place, and we've had a blast doing that. The current iteration is me and a few friends. And it's been going about 11 years. So that is just a passion project to have fun with. But long story short, I learned a lot during my time doing that. So here, fast forward to 2023, we're talking 2 years ago. And my first replica lightsaber was the Hasbro Force Effects Elite Black Series Rey Skywalker. And once I got my hands on this, it was lights off. I became obsessed quickly with these lightsabers. I was, before actually buying this lightsaber, or I should say receiving it as a gift, I studied YouTube channels on lightsaber reviews. I wanted to know which one to start with. I had heard the Black Series versus Galaxy's Edge, which is the Disney Legacy lightsabers. I just wasn't sure which direction to go in. And this was it. So this was the first lightsaber in my collection. Not terribly long after that, I purchased the Princess Leia Force Effects Elite Black Series lightsaber that she has in the Rise of Skywalker. So funny enough, my first two lightsabers are Rise of Skywalker lightsabers that are not prominent on screen. So Princess Leia, or General Leia as we know her in the sequel trilogy, not really known to be a Jedi. Thankfully, we found out that she had some background as a Jedi, albeit short. But Luke and her were training, and I think it was just so cool. This lightsaber itself, beautiful as it is, it's rose gold. It reminds me so much of Luke Skywalker's Return of the Jedi green lightsaber, and it makes sense because most lightsabers are like their masters, right? So you've got Luke's, who models itself after Obi-Wan's. You've got Leia's, that models itself after Luke's, and so on and so forth. So I remember buying that, and those, this one came from Amazon specifically, and it came in a massive box that it did not need to. And I remember just telling my wife, hey, we're going to get a massive box. Don't worry about it. I took care of it. I think I had some expenses coming back to me at work that were going to help pay for this essentially. But that was it. That was the obsession. So, 2 years later, here we are. I've got my own YouTube channel, and we're having a lot of fun with it. So last year, almost exactly a year ago, June of 2024, me and my family went to Disney World. So we went to Florida. Amazing trip as always. And this was my first trip to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios. And oh man, did I load up on looking at, again, YouTube content. What should I do? Where should I go? What lightsaber should I pick up? What does Savi's workshop look like where I can go and create my own lightsaber? All these things. I just got so excited about it. But furthermore, I got really into lightsaber culture and collecting and the lore behind them that I already kind of sort of knew as a longtime Star Wars fan. So that being said, the obsession continued on. Me and my daughter built our first lightsabers. Actually, this is mine right here. So I kind of went down the list. I went with the Power and Control hilt, as well as the purple kyber crystal. In my head, I kind of made this fictitious Star Wars character that it's my last name, Leroy, spelled backwards, Yorl. And it would be based off of kind of like Balin's skull from the Ahsoka TV show. So a little bit of an older Jedi, has seen some things, is not really sure where they land. I think inside they're really probably a good person, but they're a little confused on what path to take. So the lightsaber I built up here, this reminded me of Anakin Skywalker's Padawan lightsaber from Attack of the Clones. You've got some of the wiring here, which reminded me of Kylo Ren's lightsaber. And then down here, you see some of the grip section, the bottom grip ahead of the pommel. That reminded me so much of Darth Vader. So my lightsaber is kind of built up of all of them. My daughter was going to build one of the gold lightsabers, and then last second saw mine and had to pivot. So this is Daisy's lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge. She went very much along the same path, picked the Kylo Ren piece there, has more of a grip up there. And then up top, she said this reminded her of Darth Maul. So that's why she wanted that piece. Of course, you know, as a dad, you love to hear that. Also love Darth Maul, so that's awesome. But anyway, the obsession between buying the Rey and Leia Black Series lightsabers in 2023, and then in 2024, going to Galaxy's Edge, my mind just started going. I was so ready to kind of spill out, and I have all this knowledge and all these opinions on lightsabers, and I really wanted to do something with it. So I started a note in my phone. I started every day coming up with ideas for videos. I think I had my first 40 video ideas in my head, or at least the topics for them, before I even started this channel, at least a year ahead of it. And then after that, I started coming up with ideas for YouTube shorts, and what lightsaber was I going to buy next? What kind of collection was I going to build up? You know, it takes money, it takes time. Oh my gosh, you know. Hey, Lance, how's it going? Appreciate you showing up. Lance, thanks so much for commenting on all my videos here. Really appreciate that. Lance in the chat says, I have the power and control lightsaber that I was just showing. That was his very first lightsaber, and he's also hooked. So, yeah, really, really appreciate that, Lance. Your support means a lot, especially for a small YouTuber such as myself. Really, really goes a long way. But Lance, also, while I got you, what's your favorite lightsaber? Whether you own it or not, or it's a pipe dream, like, what is your favorite lightsaber in all of Star Wars? Could be any show, any movie, and why? Why does it resonate with you? I'd love to hear that if you wouldn't mind putting that in the chat. But after that, Lightsaber Life was launched. I had all of these ideas for channel videos. And after having a channel called The Geekiverse, I decided I was going to go with a name that people could easily spell or pronounce, because we got Geekyverse, Geekoverse. People misspell it all the time, which is hard. It's not good for SEO, which is search engine optimization. But Lightsaber Life, I feel like most people know how to spell that, or at least search it. So Lightsaber Life was born. Nobody had that name. And here we are. Plan on doing this for a very long time. I've committed myself to at least doing 1 year of this. So one long form video at minimum per week. Speaking of which, I have my long form video for this week. Typically they come out on Mondays, but I was a little behind the 8 ball with doing the live stream stuff here. So that's going to come out tomorrow. And the review is going to be on the Count Dooku Jedi Legacy lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge, which is retired. It's one of my favorite lightsabers in my collection. People tell me that it's so cool all the time. It's the coolest lightsaber you have. So really excited to get that one out there. I think it's going to be my best video yet. I'm still learning my way here, and that's number 9. Lance in the chat. Kylo Ren is your favorite lightsaber. Lance says, when I first saw him in the snow igniting it, awesome. I have the weathered Art Sabers version, and I love it. Lance, I only have Legacy and Black Series lightsabers. I desperately need to get on the high-end caliber end, whether that is an Art Sabers lightsaber. I've had my eye very much on a Theory Sabers lightsaber, which later in the stream, I'm going to chronicle my wish list, the top 6 lightsabers that I would love to have in my collection today. Kind of a pipe dream, but yeah, I do have the Kylo Ren Legacy lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge. I think it's one of the better ones. It is a little bit meaty, but the blade flicker looks good and the sound is really incredible. So I think you can't go wrong there. I'm sure there's so many effects you can do with the Art Sabers version of that. That's amazing. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. So I wanted to answer some community questions I posed in a YouTube post yesterday. First of all, I asked two questions. Number one, ask me anything about lightsabers, collecting, where to begin, any lore-related inquiries, my personal journey with it, etc. Had two responses to that one. So we had Little Miss Funeral. She asked, "What is it about lightsabers that makes you so excited?" And John Fick, my buddy, what about lightsabers do you find so fascinating? So similar questions there. For me, lightsabers are the coolest weapon in any movie, TV show, you name it. It's the coolest fictional weapon out there. Like, truly outstanding. They look cool. They sound cool. Each hilt has its own story behind it. Each color has its own meaning with the kyber crystal. There's so much that goes into it. They're not just flashy on-screen weapons. And to me, that I was hooked the second I saw the first lightsaber fight in A New Hope when it was Darth Vader and Ben Kenobi. And then when we got into Empire and Return of the Jedi, like, oh my gosh, especially that green Luke lightsaber, that is when I knew that I was going to love these. So I just think the allure of them, the idea that there's almost this romanticism as well, that they were an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. There's something just special about them. What they can do, how they can cut through pretty much anything that's not Beskar, like, they're super impressive. And I think there is nothing at all that compares to them. If you're thinking about anything in movie history, they are the coolest weapon, bar none. Lance, Weathered Obi-Wan, that would be amazing. I feel like $400 is a pretty good deal. What kind of board are you getting? Are you getting a Profi or an SNV? And then what Obi-Wan hilt is it? Is it from the is it from episode 2 or from episode 3, or actually A New Hope as well? Let me know. And then the Zeta V3 from Imperial Workshop. Dude, I got to check that out. That sounds awesome. I'm jealous of anyone who's got the high-end lightsaber collectibles. I don't have a lightsaber that has smooth swing yet, and I cannot wait for the day that I, first of all, hold one. Second of all, get to mess with it, change colors, change effects, download sound effects. You will probably see a grown man cry. I can't wait to actually put that into a video and start filming that. I unabashedly love the Black Series. I think they're great for the money that you spend on them, assuming you get a sale on them. I do love collecting the Disney Legacy lightsabers, even though they're not high end. But man, the first time that I touch a high end lightsaber, you better get out of the way. If you think I'm hooked now, it's gonna get wild. SNV for it from A New Hope. Yes, awesome. Dude, I missed out on the Galaxy's Edge one from a few years ago. That it was the Weathered Obi-Wan one. I think it was a part of the collector's case that had a few lightsabers with it. But oh my gosh, that one was beautiful. My ultimate favorite, I'm gonna tease ahead because I'm gonna give my list later in the live stream. Not planning on going past 9 o'clock for those of you that are hanging out here. Don't want to take up too much of your time, but for those looking to hang out, I appreciate you. My ultimate lightsaber, I'm gonna say it is from a very, very prominent movie character in Star Wars, and it originates, from the prequel trilogy. So we'll talk about my lightsaber wish list later on here. Yeah, good stuff. So I hope that kind of answers my question answers the question on why I find lightsabers so fascinating. They're just awesome. Even if you take a deep dive into like the Clone Wars and look at how Yoda and Ahsoka teach a group of younglings to go and create or really build their own lightsabers to get their kyber crystals on the caves of Ilum, which, by the way, have you played Jedi Fallen Order and seen what Ilum becomes? I don't necessarily want to spoil that for anybody, but oh my gosh, totally amazing. John Fick, if he's here, he knows what I'm talking about. He was the first person I texted after I played that. Soren in the chat. The Soldier's SNV 4 pixel saber from Art Sabers. So we got some Art Sabers fans here. I want to ask this: is Art Sabers the best lightsaber company out there? There's so many. I've been making a list in my phone because I want to. A pipe dream of mine is to get a lightsaber from every different manufacturer or every different company. I want to see how they overlap. Who makes the best one? What's the best quality? Lightsabers from Neo Sabers. Awesome. Neo Sabers, I hear a lot. I bet it's super awesome. I've been seeing a lot of custom lightsabers lately. But so Neo Sabers is in the conversation. Is Art Sabers? They're not really a best. They're all mostly the same with some original designs. Lance saying 89 Saber seems to be top notch, but very expensive. I'm sure a bunch of you in the chat follow. So we got Imperial Workshop. I've heard great things about them. But yeah, it's a pipe dream of mine to get one lightsaber from each of these companies, even if it's not the highest end, most expensive one. Because let's be honest, I can't afford that. I do work a day job, but I would love to get my hands on all of those and really dive into the review. I think there's something to be said for them. Clay, awesome. Thanks for joining, man. Appreciate the comments you left on the channel last night. Good stuff. Good stuff. So in terms of, I asked on YouTube, what's your favorite lightsaber of all time and why? If you're just joining us on the chat, thanks so much. Be sure to like and subscribe here on Lightsaber Life right on YouTube. Greatly appreciate anyone who's here to have a good conversation and just support the channel. But if you're here, it's because you love Star Wars or you love lightsabers too, right? So thanks for spending the time here with me. I really appreciate this. By the way, I don't have a live stream plan for the future. I just wanted to do this at 2:50 so you could get to know me, I could get to know you, and we could kind of build a little bit of a community together. But I think, we'll see what this looks like in the future. I do envision live streams becoming somewhat of a regular pattern. We'll see. Imperial has some of the best beginner Neo Pixel sabers. It blows my mind that I don't have a Neo Pixel lightsaber yet. Like, it's kind of crazy, I know, but again, I've got my wish list. It might surprise you, might not, as far as what I want my first real fancy lightsaber to be. But I'll put that down there. From Clay's Closet, we got Kylo's lightsaber is cool. Yeah, Kylo's is amazing. It's so unique. I don't know if you saw my review a few weeks ago on the Stellan Geos lightsaber. It's a crossguard lightsaber from the High Republic era. It was the Disney Legacy lightsaber that my buddy Brian let me borrow. I didn't love it. I think the Kylo Ren one is far superior, but it's kind of cool to see that become a trend where we've got the crossguard. The first time I saw that in the Force Awakens teaser, oh my gosh, I was out of my mind. Out of my mind. But you also see a tease of a cross saber in the end of season 2 in Star Wars Rebels. Ezra gets his hand on one. That's one I've always wanted to buy. It's not going to be very popular. It's kind of obscure, but I think some company somewhere should make that if they haven't already. Lance, Vader sabers are located near you in Florida. Dude, Florida. I'm coming in August. Going to Galaxy's Edge just for a 2-day trip. I'm actually going to Universal first and foremost because I want to see the new Epic Universe. So I'm going to visit Mario Land, or Nintendo World, I should say. I'm really excited about that, but that's one day, and then the other day is going to be spent at Galaxy's Edge. Now, Galaxy's Edge you could see in feasibly an hour or two, depending on what you've got to do to go and wait in line for rides or experiences, but I could spend all day there. Last year I did it. I sat at Ronto's Roasters. I was by myself. My family had kind of gone over to Hollywood Studios to wait for a different ride, and I just ate and stared at the Millennium Falcon. It's so geeky, I know it, but you know what? I freaking love Star Wars, so that was it. And then I went on Rise of the Resistance, which is absolutely bonkers. And that told me in my gut that I needed to go get the Kylo Ren lightsaber. So that's the lightsaber I walked away with. But yes, this is the Leia lightsaber. So this is the Black Series Force Effects Elite. This one came out in 2022, I believe. I'd have to look that up. But this has a bad rap. A lot of channels do not like this lightsaber. I understand the Black Series is nothing fancy. However, there's so much to like about it. So this is relatively thin. Like, they do a really good job of that. Some of the Galaxy's Edge, you guys know what I'm talking about. Those things are burritos. They are massive. But the Leia one, you can typically get on Amazon. I bought this for like $110. Obviously comes with the blade, the incredible box art. It's not as glitchy as they say. So the problem is the button for the effects is on the back side of it where you would grab it and like swing it. And it's not great. You run into it a lot. But the sound is authentic to the movie for the very few seconds we see it in Rise of Skywalker. It's also got the amazing thin neck. So this comes off just like the Luke and Obi-Wan lightsabers do. And the other thing that's big to me is they got the rose gold color correct. Galaxy's Edge did not. I say Galaxy's Edge. It's an interchangeable term with Disney Legacy lightsabers. It's not right. It's not good. So it is what it is. But same with the Rey lightsaber, by the way. Like, this is the Black Series. I had watched a lot of videos on, should I get the Black Series? Should I get the Rey Disney lightsaber? And everyone came back with the Black Series. It's weathered. It's beautiful. It's got the same thing. It's got the teeth. It kind of unscrews up top. I do have a full video review for this lightsaber. It's my first video I posted on this channel if you want to check that out. It's got actual garb here. It feels almost like a little bit of a weathered hockey tape. And it's also got weathering on the lightsaber. Like, you don't really get that on retail lightsabers so much, I feel like. So that, plus they got the yellow color right with it, and the teeth are not loose. They're actually solid. Yeah, Lance, how could I forget? The ignition switch is the best part. So right here, oh man, I'm doing so bad with this. Ready? It misfires because it essentially doesn't have the crystal in there, which is the blade. I love that little detail. But yeah, I think I got two of the better Black Series lightsabers, and that's why that helped me kind of launch this collection. But yeah, Clay, can't go wrong, man. Like, I've never cosplayed Star Wars in my life. If you saw me post earlier this week, I had an orange tuxedo on. I did cosplay about 6 years ago at Nickel City Con, which is in Buffalo, where I live. I played Eggsy from Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I used to have glasses that were big black glasses. I looked just like him. I was playing to my strengths. However, I'll say this. If I were to cosplay one character in the future, I think I could pull off a good Cal Kestis. When I grow my hair a little bit, I can slick it back like he does. I'd shave, obviously, and have some of the stubble like we'd see in Jedi Survivor. I've got the lightsaber from Jedi Fallen Order. But yeah, Cal Kestis would be number one. I think Anakin Skywalker would be a really, really fun cosplay as well. Then one of my best friends, John, he resembles Obi-Wan Kenobi. And if he grows his hair out right, he looks just like him. So I think there is a cosplay in our future for sure. Yeah, Soren, you're not missing a ton with Hasbro. I like them. The affordability is there. It's good. But NeoPixel is the best. It's the best lightsaber on the market. You can do so much more with it. The prices have really started to come down on a lot of those companies. You don't have to pay through the nose for them anymore like you used to. And the retail prices have gone up, right? So the price on a lot of the hilts, I'm surprised it's still $160 for Disney. The Hasbro ones are usually retailing for $249.99, but I've seen them go up to $275. I wouldn't be surprised if $300 is coming. That's too much. That's absolutely too much for a retail lightsaber. The sweet spot is probably about $150. That's what you should pay for one. But yeah, Clay, appreciate you joining, man. Thanks so much. Keep in touch. If I can help with any suggestions, let me know. It looks like we've got some professionals here in the chat who'd be happy to help you out. Just stay on the Lightsaber Life community tab. Lance, I can see it. I take that back. I was going to say I can see a future in which they give a version of a smooth swing lightsaber for a little bit higher price point. Because collectors would want it. Like, tell me we wouldn't pay for it. There is something to be said about collecting Galaxy's Edge lightsabers. For me, I've got them all on my wall. So very much like this here, but on the other side of my studio here, I've got them lined up. I'm going to have that in a future video, but it looks so sick. So I've got every hilt that I've collected so far between Galaxy's Edge and the Black Series. And then above them, I've got every Blu-ray steelbook for Star Wars. So I've got all 9 movies. I've got the 2 spin-off movies in Rogue One and Solo, and then some of the series like Mando and Obi-Wan, and it looks really, really cool. All right, Soren says I need the Atlas V3 NeoPixel Saber from Imperial Workshop. It's only $210. Oh, that's a price point I can get behind. Soren, I'm going to take a look at that tonight and dive in. Let's face it, folks, it's only a matter of time. But yeah, hit me with your recommendations. I'm all ears. All ears. So getting back to a question I posed to the channel, I asked, what's your favorite lightsaber of all time and why? And John Fick, again, my buddy, he responded, and it's so fitting because I've got it right here on my desk. He said, my favorite lightsaber of all time is Rey's at the end of Rise of Skywalker. I wish we got more on-screen moments showing how a Jedi's lightsaber is personal and unique to them. It was only a quick moment with Rey's, but I really love it. I do too, man. Like, that made my day. Now, say what you will about Rise of Skywalker. It can be messy, to say the least, but it gave us some cool stuff. We got the Rey original lightsaber, so she wasn't just hanging out with Anakin and Luke's lightsaber, reforged, all that good stuff. Like, we got a legitimate Rey lightsaber. I'm disappointed that it wasn't a full staff. I feel like that should have been a double blade, but who knows? Maybe if the Rey movie comes out, that'll be a thing. I would recommend some of the Clone Wars episodes in terms of lightsaber building and how it can be more personal and unique. And like I said, the season arc, I think it's season 5, it shows the younglings in the Jedi Temple of the Clone Wars going and building their first lightsabers. So Ahsoka and Yoda guide them. It shows them picking up their crystals, their hilts. Hu Yang, if you saw the Ahsoka TV show, that's what he's in originally. So he's in there. He's kind of guiding them and showing them how to build them. It's so cool. I agree. I love the idea of more personal connection. I love that we get that in the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor games, that there's a little bit of a lore behind why Cal has that lightsaber, why he changes the kyber crystals out at him, even has the different stances with the cross guard and the dual blades, like all of that. There's such an art to it. Even the Amazon book I got for Father's Day, the lightsaber coffee book, I cannot remember the name of it, but that is a nice little snapshot on almost every lightsaber that you can find. And I was blown away, by the way, that there's a High Republic version of that. Like, how could there be enough High Republic lightsabers and artwork even to have a book about it? But there is. So obviously I'm going to record more videos on that in the future. But my goodness gracious, it's absolutely crazy. The Scavenger V3 from Imperial is $160 NeoPixel. That, again, is a price point I can get behind. Let's go. That sounds awesome. So my collection so far, that's the last topic I want to talk about before I dive into kind of my lightsaber wish list. So I've got 11, if we're counting some of the doubles as singles, and we'll get into it. But number 1 and 2 in my collection, the ones that started it all, the Rey Skywalker Black Series from Hasbro. Just great attention to detail for a retail saber. We've got the Princess Leia from Rise of Skywalker. It's just so pretty. The blue's awesome. The ignition is awesome. It's got the appropriate switch on it. It can be slightly glitchy based on where the back button is for effects. Small price to pay for such a cheap lightsaber. Like, it is what it is. I know different versions of that have produced different results. Lightsaber number 3 in my collection, the Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order. So I bought it when it was on sale, being a newer collector. It dropped to like $120 on DisneyStore.com. And then my buddy, who also has a big affinity, I would say a shared affinity for Cal Kestis, he had 2 Cal Kestises. So you can connect these and do it like a Darth Maul double staff. You can wield it. It's heavy as hell. Like, it's insane how much it weighs. That's a video for another time. And he gifted me one of them so I could connect them. Basically, long story short, he had hip surgery. It was affecting his back. He's like, I can't spin this. I can't go out and duel with these. He likes dueling with them. He likes hanging with them. So what a story that was, and what a great, great friend to gift me that lightsaber. So I've got the Cal Kestis double-bladed lightsaber from Disney. I just did a video review on the Jedi Survivor one. That one is epic. It's just slightly lighter, a little more optimized, and it color changes, and it comes with a blade. So I can't go wrong with that one. And a nice kind of collector's box that goes there. Fourth one in my collection. It is the video that I'm releasing tomorrow. It's the Count Dooku Jedi lightsaber from Tales of the Jedi. This thing is a beast. It's thick. However, it's super cool. Like, I could not pass this one up. It's technically retired now, but when I saw that we were getting the Jedi version of Count Dooku's lightsaber, I could not have been more enthused. I love Tales of the Jedi. I think that is such an amazing format for Star Wars animation. I love that we got an arc with Count Dooku. It answered so many questions that I had about the character. We got to see him hang out with young Qui-Gon. We got to see Yaddle, which is so random and amazing. We got to see some of the final events that led him towards being a Sith Lord, which is so awesome. So I love that series. I love that we even got more Ahsoka. I love the, to lesser degrees, the Tales of the Empire, and then definitely less than that, the Tales of the Underworld. But I would love a second season of Tales of the Jedi or Tales of the Sith. Like, give me a 3-episode arc on Ben Solo and his training with Luke Skywalker, and then how it kind of became not so good towards the end with Supreme Leader Snoke. Like, give me that arc. I would love to see that a little bit. And then I would love to see Cal Kestis. I'm always holding out hope that we're going to get a Cal Kestis live action series. Cameron Monaghan, who voices that character, is willing to play that character in a mini series. So I really hope that's in development. I hope that happens. But yeah, I put blue champagne bottle light in the broken pommel of my Disney Cal Kestis. Makes it look cooler. That's awesome, Lance. See, you're repurposing your lightsaber now. Dooku's Jedi Saber, man. Obviously, I'm promoting my own video that's coming out tomorrow, but I can't speak highly enough about it. Especially, it's a retail lightsaber again, so I always have that caveat, but it's just so epic. I feel the curved hilt is uncomfortable in the hand. Dude, you're so right, Soren. Like, I mentioned that in the video, like, it's an acquired taste. Like, you have to practice with it to get good with it. Now, it doesn't help that it's thick as hell. So if it was thinner, like the Princess Leia one, I think it would be in much better shape. And you can get a high-end Dooku Jedi lightsaber from some of the companies we mentioned. So that's probably in my future, but like, I couldn't pass on this. It's so perfect. Celinda, what's up? Baby Ahsoka. So Celinda, earlier I mentioned I think there's a cosplay in my future, either as Cal Kestis solo, if I'm doing that alone, or me and my buddy. Like, I can resemble Anakin Skywalker if I need to, and he can totally resemble Obi-Wan Kenobi. So like, that would be too good to pass up. But you and I teased like a year ago, and we got to know each other a little bit, that maybe there's an Anakin and Ahsoka cosplay in our future. Just saying, like, lots of good stuff coming up. Hang out towards the end here. I'm going to reveal my wish list of lightsabers. And I've also got 2 sitting right behind me that I haven't showed the channel yet that I know a bunch of you will appreciate. So number 5, I've got the Kylo Ren lightsaber. That's from Disney as well. I'm a big believer in going with your gut on which character lightsaber to get next, not necessarily which company. But I went, as I mentioned, to Galaxy's Edge last year. I waited almost 3 hours for the broken down Rise of the Resistance. I had to do it. I wasn't leaving Florida without going on it, and it was worth every minute that I waited. It's so off the charts awesome in terms of rides. But seeing that Kylo Ren is kind of a big part of that ride, like that was something I had to do. So I went immediately to Doc Ondar's after that. I was smuggling a Palpatine lightsaber for a good friend of mine back home. So while I was there, I was like, I got to get the Kylo Ren. Got to do it. So yeah, so Linda, I'm in. Like Clone Wars Anakin, I think I could pull off with a wig. So yeah, 100%. Let's do it. My next lightsaber, I went back to. So we're talking about lightsabers in my collection here. Went back to the Black Series, the Yoda. So this sounds funny to say, but most retail lightsabers take like AA or AAA batteries. This one is rechargeable, but the brightness on the blade is outstanding. It comes with the blade plug that is kind of like the kyber crystal and lights up. Like it's fine. I'd take it or leave it. But if you're paying attention, like create a wish list on Amazon. These lightsabers go on sale all the time. The sweet spot is about a year after they come out. If you pre-order them, you're going to pay $250 to $275 for them. That's too much. They don't have enough features to justify that price point. But if you wait, you will find them on sale. I want to say I spent $120 on Yoda, $111 on Leia, and maybe $127 on Rey. So go get it. But the Yoda one's truly amazing. It is a little bit big for a Yoda lightsaber, but not much. And it swings beautifully. It's very light. Dare I say, there's a little bit of a it's not smooth swing, but it's swing sensitive, which is better than most can say. Yeah, Lance, that version is thick. I haven't held the Galaxy's Edge version. I have heard that it's thinner, but a lot of the same features otherwise. So I'm not sure. I went with my gut and went with the Force effects on it. It's bright, man. Like I can't say enough about how bright it is. That'll be a review video coming at some point as well. It's really well done. So I have a stupid nitpick with it to basically remove. So if you picture Yoda's lightsaber on the grip, it's got these black like rubber grips all the way around it. And you have to really force one of those off. Like it's meant to be pulled off, but it's not easy. You pull it off and that's where the USB plug-in is. It's not great. Like they should have just been, it should have been a pommel that screws off at the end and plugs in, but you know, what do I know? Moving on. So next lightsaber in my collection. This is the first one that I went after that I wasn't like 100% enthused about, which sounds funny because the lightsaber itself is one of my favorites of all time, but it's Luke Skywalker's from Return of the Jedi, or as they say with the Legacy lightsaber, from Book of Boba Fett, which is just so random, but it is. It's thin. It's it's very comparable to the Leia. I would say just slightly thicker than that. It does the same thing where the emitter comes off and then screws on over it, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. But it's pretty. It's the lightsaber that got me into this as a kid, so I couldn't pass it up. I am sure I'll be buying a more high-end Luke lightsaber at some point. No doubt about it. Next one, I had, man, this is so random. So the Disney Legacy Darth Maul lightsaber, the collector's edition that was like one of 4,000. Absolutely insane. It was the box set with the box art on it of Darth Maul, and when you open it, it plays Duel of the Fates. So I passed it up. I had an opportunity to buy it when it first dropped last May. So a year ago, May, for May the 4th. Against my better judgment, I said, I need to save money. I'm not going to do this at this time. I kind of kicked myself for missing it. Now I've got all these lightsaber pages and apps pinned in my phone. So I've got them all in a collection, and I go and check on prices pretty regularly. And Amazon wish lists for things like the Black Series. Randomly, I went onto Disney's website, and this was back in stock. I did a double take at my phone. I've never purchased something so fast in my life. Quickly, I'm scheming on how I'm going to explain this to Lauren, my wife, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just spent all this money. But well worth it. Can't wait to do a deep dive on that one in the future. worth every penny. And the lightsaber itself is very thin, both sides. It works. I like it. It's a very good lightsaber. I can't complain about it. Got Pietro Maximoff in the chat. Happy 250. Just wanted to say that your production quality is great and the videos are top notch. Here's to 100K more. Pietro, thanks so much, man. That means the world to me. I'm a small YouTuber, right? I'm just trying to have fun with this, connect with you guys here in the community, and turn a passion into a passion project, right? Like I get to collect lightsabers and then I get to talk about it with people who also love Star Wars and lightsabers. It's freaking awesome. Like I've done this for 2 months as of the 4th, because we started on May the 4th, Star Wars Day. Done 9 videos, I've done 30 shorts. I'm having a blast with it. It's just, yeah, I can't thank everybody enough, for sure. Yeah, Lance, hitting the purchase on a saber you want is such a dopamine hit. Like, it's wild, right? Because especially on a limited edition lightsaber that's expensive, it's probably something you've looked at 1,000 times. You've hemmed and hawed. You've watched videos. You've watched YouTubers review it to death. You know you want it. It's just a matter of time and money. And when you go and hit purchase and it refreshes and it said, thank you for your purchase, and you get the email and all that good stuff, it's part, woo, I did this. And then it's also part like, oh my gosh, I just spent how much money? So, not going to lie, how awesome would it be if having a YouTube channel eventually either paid for some of these lightsaber products to review, or eventually I'm able to maybe get, some lightsabers sent to me. I don't know. That's a pipe dream. But regardless, if nothing else changed, and like I said early in the live stream, I committed to doing this for a year. So we'll see how a year goes and how we build it up from there. But got to get to, all the metrics that matter, 1,000 subscribers, all that good stuff. But I've got some rules with the channel. Like, I will not post if I'm not totally satisfied with the video. I won't post next week's video if I haven't learned something from the prior video. I'm not going to take shortcuts. I'm going to go redo something if I mess something up. I want to do this to the best of my ability, and I know that if I can get 1% better each video, that's a long way in a year. So hopefully, next year at this time we're talking and we're having a blast with it still. But yeah, use your aggressive spending, boy. It's crazy, Pietro, but yeah, hopefully again my wife's not seeing that. Yeah, Lance, I really appreciate you saying that the videos are consistently good. I'm learning all of this on the fly. I'm taking what I did with my other passion project in the Geekiverse and trying to figure that out here. And who knows, maybe it'll lead to something even more fun. But right now, this is the passion. This is what I'm having fun doing. Even just hanging out with 6 people in the chat right now. That's amazing. I wasn't sure anyone would show up tonight. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Lightsaber collection. Speaking of Ahsoka. So my lightsaber collection, Black Friday. I had these on my wish list. The Disney Legacy Ahsoka Tano Clone Wars lightsabers. Dude, you get the regular full-length lightsaber and the Shoto. And they change colors from green to blue. I know that's not like, everyone's probably rolling their eyes right now. Like, great, Josiah, your lightsabers change colors. Like, far more impressive lightsabers with better companies do that. But I wanted these so bad. Ahsoka has crept into my top 5 all-time favorite Star Wars characters, which is saying a lot for someone who's been at this since 1997. And some of you may have been at this since 1977. But Ahsoka is so special to me. She's my daughter's favorite character. There is a generation of fans who has grown up with Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Rebels, and Ahsoka is their Luke Skywalker. It's their Anakin Skywalker, and I love it. So those 2 lightsabers are super impressive. They did a great job with those. Been having a lot of fun with them. And then there was a crazy sale on Amazon a few months back. Rosario is so good as Ahsoka. Like, she was meant to be. And I rewatched the Ahsoka series so much, it's probably not healthy. But like I haven't finished The Last of Us season 2 yet, which is crazy. I'm a huge gamer. Love season 1. Season 2 has just not gotten my attention as much. But I've rewatched Ahsoka By the way, how many good lightsabers did we get from the Ahsoka show? Like so many, right? Like so many. But what I bought for my collection was the Sabine Wren Black Series Force Effects. It's not that impressive. It's the first lightsaber I've bought from either company, Disney or Hasbro, so far, where I felt like a cheap lightsaber. The LEDs in it are outstanding. Like, they look good. It is screen accurate. It looks just like it. But there's something about it. It's got a nice display emitter. It goes good on my wall. It's just that is one that kind of. By the way, I mentioned the Ahsoka series has so many amazing lightsabers. The next Black Series Effects lightsaber comes out in August, I believe. It's the Ezra Bridger lightsaber that he builds at the end of the series. Earlier in the chat, we had John Fick mention that he wishes we would get more kind of one-on-one time with Jedi on screen to see why they built their lightsaber, how they were doing it, what was the meaning behind it, the hilt, the color, all of it. We kind of get a little bit of that with Ezra and Hu Yang. And Ezra essentially builds a lightsaber that looks just like Kanan Jarrus's, his master. So it's kind of paying respect to him. And I think it's just so beautiful. Now, I'm not going to pay $250 or $275, whatever it's listed for on Amazon. But that's a lightsaber I'm absolutely getting when it goes on sale for $125. I just am. Has anyone here tried the Balin Skull lightsaber from the Force Effects series? Or the Legacy Disney line, for that matter? I got my hands on it. More in a minute on that. It might be on my wish list. Okay, so last lightsabers that I've got in my collection. We got about 10 minutes left in the live stream for tonight. I'm really excited about these. These are my Father's Day and birthday gift. My birthday's in August, so I joked that I was only going to get one of them at a time. But the Ahsoka Tano lightsaber that we see from the Ahsoka show, from the Mandalorian, and from Rebels. Now, these they feel like a nice metal. They've got a good grip. My fingers do run into the buttons for ignition a little bit, but they got the color and the patterns right. Funny enough, these are touted as Disney's thinner versions of these lightsabers. If these are thin, what did the originals look like? My gosh, those must have been monsters. But what I do like, so we got the Shoto lightsaber hilt. I told you I love Ahsoka, and I love being able to have on my wall the Clone Wars Ahsoka lightsabers along with the Rebels version, or the Ahsoka series, I should say. There's something about her with the white crystal and how she cleansed it. She did the opposite, right? Of bleeding a crystal like a dark side user or a Sith would do. But I really, truly love this lightsaber. It's so funny. Like, my wife messed with these, and my daughter did too, who loves Ahsoka. And they were like, meh. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, they're not that impressive. The Clone Wars ones are better. And I was like, okay, just because the Clone Wars ones resemble Anakin's, it is what it is. But I freaking love this one, man. Like, this was on my list of my top 5 lightsabers that I wanted, and I'm so excited. Last thing I'll mention on these, it's got unique blades. So blades come with this. You can't interchange them with every other legacy lightsaber blade like you can for most, the Yoda lightsaber. Shoot, I'm missing one. There's a few lightsaber blades that are not interchangeable for Disney, but these have these twist in. I guess the other ones twist in too, but these do so in a different manner. They're made up differently. Like, I wish I had the blades in front of me, but the light quality is a little bit better. Also, I did a YouTube short on what new batteries will do to a lightsaber. First of all, if you have old like AAAs in there, they can bleed out a little bit and ruin your lightsaber. So make sure you're replacing them often, or at least playing with them often. But the brightness level is night and day. Like, absolutely insane. My buddy JT had the Kanan lightsaber. He brought it over for Star Wars Day. Never replaced the batteries. He had the awful, awful insert ones that Disney gives you with it. I gave him some Duracells. Dude, it gives new life. Like, it is truly outstanding. So, Linda, earlier in the chat, I asked, what's your favorite lightsaber, like in all of Star Wars? If you could have one, or what, what one means a lot to you. Is that Ahsoka for you? I'd love to hear your answer on that. But all right, folks. Again, thanks for joining here. We got a few minutes left in our first ever live stream for Lightsaber Life. Again, I didn't know if anyone would show up tonight, and that would have been okay. I told my wife I was going to be the same kind of no matter what. But I just I appreciate everyone joining tonight. Appreciate everyone subscribing. This live stream is happening because we hit 250 subscribers. We're at 350 right now. Like, I know in the scheme of things that's nothing, but as they say, as Nathan Drake in the Uncharted game says, sic parvis magna, right? Greatness from small beginnings. Like, this is so much fun. Speaking of cool characters that came from the Clone Wars, is Asajj Ventress on your list to review in the future? So I've got an infinite list of lightsabers I would love to review. I have a list that probably covers my next 20. There are lightsabers I either have in my collection or lightsabers that I know a buddy has, or I can get my hands on relatively easily. So that's going to take up my content for the next few months. I do not have access to an Asajj Ventress, but I, funny enough, have been looking at her lightsabers a little bit more, when it comes to shopping around. So I guess the long-winded answer there is never say never. Probably not the Disney ones. Those are massive. But if I could get my hands on a higher end version, like a NeoPixel, where those are thinner and you can connect they're weird because they're they're curved and they connect. I don't know. That's interesting. But I love the yellow Asajj Ventress lightsabers. There's something about yellow. It's why I love Rey's. It's so unique. Yeah, thanks, Lance. I appreciate you, man. We'll do our best to keep this rocking. Celinda in the chat. Yes, the Ahsoka series lightsabers are favorite because of how she cleanses the crystals. Such a powerful moment. Those are so meaningful. I couldn't agree more. She's just like the anti-hero, right? Like, really anti-villain, like as far opposite as it can be. I love that story so much. That's why I love those lightsabers. She was an acquired taste for me. I didn't love her at first in the Clone Wars, but as she grew up, kind of, and that character from Ashley Eckstein who voiced her, and now Rosario Dawson, who is taking the ball and running with it in live action. Like, I love Ahsoka. This might shock you all, but some of my favorite characters. So Yoda, Darth Maul. I love Rey unabashedly, although I'm not excited for the Rey movie. Topic for a different time. And then Ahsoka. Those are my 4 favorite Star Wars characters. Of course, I love Anakin. I love Luke Skywalker, so on and so forth. Princess Leia, Han. Like, it's a tough discussion. But, all right, my lightsaber wish list. We're going to wrap things up with this tonight. I want to hear from you. Put it in the chat. What's your lightsaber wish list? If you had money was no object, if a company was going to send you one, what would it be? I'd love to hear it. So mine, I had Ahsoka on there. But this is a list that is practical and realistic. So number 1 on my list, I teased it earlier, the Anakin Skywalker, the Annie 3, which is his episode 3 lightsaber from Theory Sabers. I love Star Wars Theory. I think he represents a lot of the fan base that we don't see and hear from. Love his content. I love his lore videos. That's what attracted me to his channel all these years ago. But now he's got a lightsaber company. What better? Like, who better to make lightsabers than Star Wars Theory? That guy knows his stuff. And Theory Sabers Annie 3 is disgustingly beautiful. Like, I would go all in on that. 36-inch blade, Profi soundboard. I would spend... That's the one where I would spend all the money that I could without having a budget on it. And then I have a small list. They're kind of accessible. Yeah, Young Link Slayer's right. I love the Legacy Anakin Skywalker lightsaber, the Padawan lightsaber from Attack of the Clones. It's so clean. That's probably a lightsaber I can see myself coming home with when I go to Florida in August. I can't get away from it. Like, I love it. I want to reserve my episode 3 Anakin Skywalker for a higher end lightsaber, though. Like, I want to really splurge on that when the time is right. I'm going to have to save for a while. But that's going to be like my first off the charts lightsaber. So the Annie 2. I want 2 Black Series lightsabers that are kind of getting harder to get because they retire them. But I want the Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which is basically his lightsaber, truly, between episode 3 and 4. And it's weathered. And again, the Black Series Leia, perfectly thin. That's a big deal to me. In comparing the Kenobi lightsaber between the Disney version and the Black Series, I think the Black Series, from all research I've seen, all the reviews on YouTube I've seen, that's the better one. That's the one I want. Plus, that box art, beautiful. And then I want the Darth Vader Black Series. There's so many versions of Vader's saber out there that I could get. I could see myself getting the Legacy. But, oh man, I've got an amazing video down the line. I inherited a sort of beat up, broken replica Darth Vader lightsaber from 2003. That's right, folks. 2003. Before this really became a thing. And I'm restoring it piece by piece to its original glory, and you should see it. But for the time being, I want the Black Series. And then one lightsaber that is out of circulation. I want the Ben Solo Legacy lightsaber. I have the Kylo Ren. I want the before and after. I want to have that on there. You can find this lightsaber secondhand on eBay and other similar websites. It's not cheap. It's not worth it. $300 and up? No way. Not for a Legacy lightsaber. That's not a collector's edition, by the way. But I talked to someone on Facebook Marketplace a few months ago, and I opted not to. They were selling it in New Jersey for $175. I'm in New York, Buffalo. So it's like 8 hours away. It's not close. I asked if they would drop it to $125. They said they would if I would pick it up. I couldn't devote the time to go do it. So it's out there. It's possible. I don't love the Ben Solo lightsaber, but I love how it contrasts and compares with the Kylo Ren lightsaber. And as you know, between the Leia and the Rey, I've got an affinity for second lightsabers, or lightsabers that are not very popular. It's weird, right? But I do. And then lastly, I got to play with these lightsabers big time. Shout out to my buddy Brian Doyle. The Shin Hati and Balin Skull Legacy Collector set. Those are the best Legacy lightsabers I've ever held. They're thin. They've got swing sensitivity. The right orange. Beautiful sound effects. A killer box set. Custom blades. $400. One in 4,000. That's one that I can see myself buying. That's good value. $200 per lightsaber, blades included, and the collector's box. It took a lot for me to pass up that. And I'll say this, that's still available at Disney Online or DisneyStore.com. Those are not selling. One thing I have found, Mike, I'm new with creating content, but it's all relative. Anything tied to Balin Skull and Shin Hati that I release doesn't do that well. Doesn't have a lot of traffic. That's fine. Obviously traffic is a part of building a YouTube channel, but people do not care about those characters. I love those characters. I love the Ahsoka show so much. I also love the Obi-Wan series. Like, I know there's gripes with it, but those two series in particular. So sorry, folks. I got allergies up here. But like, those are just, they're beautiful. And orange is my favorite color next to purple. So to have an orange lightsaber, oh my gosh, they're so good. You can check out my full video review on them. They're amazing. Amazing. And then last wish list item. Have you guys heard of this? There is a custom blade that you can buy from just a dude. He's got a shop on Etsy. His name is Jamu. Jamu's Playground. There's a custom blade that fits 98% of the Disney Legacy hilts. It has far brighter lights. So, gets rid of the Disney dull lights that you see on your blades. And it's color changing. So Jmu will you'll have every color you can imagine, including the correct shade of yellow, and different effects, like a blade flicker or like a rainbow effect. Like, it's super cool. That I want to say you can spend a pretty penny on, anywhere from $300 to $400 on. Finding the Force did a really nice deep dive on it a few years ago on their channel. Jmu's Playground Custom Blade. Think about how amazingly epic that would make all of my Disney hilts. Like, truly, truly awesome. Yeah, Lance, I think so too. I think they've been pivoting or planting the seed for Shin to be good. I'm super intrigued to see where Baylan's arc takes him, especially with a new actor. That's a real shame there, but that, and then we know Hayden Christensen's coming back for more. Between Kenobi and Ahsoka, those two series, and then another season of Ahsoka, getting more Hayden, it's been truly amazing. Like, episode 5 of Ahsoka is one of my favorite bits of Star Wars content ever, where Ahsoka has the vision and gets to duel Anakin. By the way, an Anakin hilt like I could get from Theory Sabers, his Annie 3 with a red blade, that's a dream come true. Like, that's a lightsaber I need. But I'm curious to see where it goes. Also, heavy rumors today that we're getting a Kenobi season 2. Now, I know it's been around for a while, but a lot of the major geek media outlets are picking this up. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. This one, I think, might have some legs. I think they're going to get away from more of the garbage like we saw with the Acolyte, thank goodness. Yeah, Celinda, you're right. She says, I think the casual Star Wars fan just hasn't seen enough of Baylan and Shin to care a lot about them. They are amazing. Like, they're amazing characters. Baylan is maybe the best character in that show. But you know what's really funny? My best performing content in a limited run so far, the Gungi lightsaber review. People love Gungi. It's the Wookiee Jedi from Clone Wars. Who knows Gungi? I literally had to Google him, which is so embarrassing as a Star Wars fan, but I had to Google Gungi and watch that episode arc and all this stuff before reviewing that lightsaber. But yeah, people love Gungi. People do not like the Darksaber. That video has been my lowest performing video so far. But all right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining the first ever Lightsaber live stream. I appreciate you so much. Hopefully more in the future. But stay tuned. Your comments, your participation, your likes, your subscriptions, all of it goes so far for me. Watching these videos beginning to end, all of it, I couldn't appreciate you more. So thank you very much. If you joined us in the chat tonight, thanks again. Had a lot of fun tonight talking lightsabers and Star Wars. And don't forget, folks, trust only in the Force. Have a good night. God bless.